ear training. Okay. So a few things about lesson 1. We've already seen an example of this, but music is written on a staff. Okay, so there are 5 lines on the staff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's always 5 lines on the staff, and what goes on these are notes. Okay, there are different types of notes. So you can see it on the page there, and we number these lines for consistency's sake, from the bottom up. Right. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the lines. And because of their lines, there's also spaces. So we're going to number them 1, 2, 3, and 4. So whenever we're referring to a specific line, we're always talking about the numbers from the bottom up. Right? As you've surmised already, the notes on the staff that are higher sound higher. The notes that are on the bottom sound lower, and you can sort of draw arrows between them. Right? As part of the exercise, you can draw a staff on your own. I would recommend using a ruler so that you're making a straight line. Okay, and then also part of the exercise here in Unit 1 is just to get familiar with using the numbers to remind you of where these notes are. Okay, but just with numbers and just with lines and spaces doesn't give us actually enough information, right? Because the human voice between a bass all the way to a soprano encompasses a lot more notes than you can fit in 5 lines. Right? And this system has been developed since the Renaissance to notate music. Right? And it's 5 lines partly because if you add any more lines, it gets pretty difficult to read quickly. Right? So 5 lines give you visually something you can see, top, bottom, middle, etc. Right? So that's why we use 5 lines in part of the reason. If you turn the page to the second page, okay, you can take a look at the treble clef. Okay, so in order for us to tell someone where the notes are that sit on the clef on the staff, we use something called a clef. Okay, so instead of just that, we're going to start again with 5 lines. And in this class, and as well in a lot of music, what we use basically are 2 types of clefs. There's the treble clef, which looks like this, right? And there's something called the bass clef, which looks like that. Right? Drawing the treble clef is pretty fun. You start always with the second line. Okay? And what you're going to do is make a loop, like that. And next, you're going to make a loop and continue on. Okay. I'm going to extend this so you can see it. Okay. And once you do that, right, you're going to loop again. Okay. And what you'd like to do is come back. And generally, it's good to come back and cross yourself here right at the 4th line as you keep going down. Right? So there's spaces there for you to practice writing a treble clef on your own. Okay? And the bass clef, if you have the book, is on lesson 3. If not, you can just watch here. Again, 5 lines. Okay. And we start the bass clef on the 4th line. And the bass clef is pretty easy. You're just writing a backwards C. Right. It's important that you're hitting all the marks pretty much in writing your treble clef and bass clef because it keeps the clef tidy and easy to identify. The last thing that you need for the bass clef are 2 dots in spaces 3 and 4. Okay. And I'll post this video as well, but you can certainly take a picture. Okay. Going back to the treble clef, okay, here are the notes on the treble clef. So the text says here you can see here on the textbook next to the treble clef there's a piano keyboard. thing that with the black keys and the white keys. Okay? And it's telling you there's a key that's called middle C, okay? Also a G that's above that. Okay? That G, okay, and this we'll be using keyboard exercise as well, so become clearer later on. Right? But that G is on the second line of the treble clef. Right. Again, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And this is the G. Treble clef is also called a G clef because we're starting with the second line. Okay. And basically from there, we use an alphabet. We use just the first 7 letters of the alphabet: A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It repeats. Okay. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The note above G would be A. Okay. And we're using these letters to help us identify the same notes that are happening throughout. So, for example, if I'm in a room with Celine Dion, and Celine says, "What note is my heart?" And I can say, "Oh, Celine is a C," right? And she would know exactly what I mean. Right? Instead of saying like the frequency is 483 hertz and all of that, all we're using is letter names. Okay? So in a way, it's a shorthand to know what pitch, what the highness and lowness you're referring to. Right? So the musical alphabet goes from the bottom up, right? And you're only using A, B, C, D, E, F, and G to identify these notes. If that's true, we're also going up by space and then line and then space and then line and then space. We alternate. So for example, this is a G, okay? And so the next note up from that, let's see if this works, right, would be an A. And that's the note that's going to be right above G in the second space. Right? A. The note below G, also in a space, is an F. Right? Note below F is an E. And it's important that the notes that are on a line or a space are very clearly either on a line or a space and not both. The note above an A is a B, right? And then above B is a C. And one more staff there. Right. And then this is a D and an E. Okay. So you can see it's just going up the alphabet. Okay, from E all the way to, there's one more, can go on, F. Right, from E to F. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. The reason why I highlighted the different notes on spaces and lines in different colors is because this is a useful mnemonic device. This is also in the textbook. Okay, the space notes spell out F-A-C-E. Face. Right. So you can see the happy face that I just drew. Okay. Right. So all these together. Right. And then the notes on the lines, okay, go in order E, G, B, D, F. So you can use a mnemonic device such as "Every good boy does fine" to help you remember. You can use either of those to remember, but as long as you find one of them, you can always count. Okay? And as you're more familiar with the note names, you'll be able to do it a little bit quicker. Okay. Good. So just to let you know a little bit, I'm gonna wrap up here. For next time, okay, I'm gonna